Sean Ray backstage with the 1983 Lion of Lebanon, Mr. Olympia, Samir Bannout. Samir, we are at the Joe Weider 60th Mr. Olympia Weekend. I don't want to start there. I want to go back in Lebanon when you decided that bodybuilding was something you wanted to do that has led you to this end.
When did I start it in Lebanon?
Well, when you decided to make the journey.
You know what, honestly, that Joe Weider's magazine, Muscle Builder Power at the time, that wasn't Muscle Fitness. I picked up an issue in 1971, and I just fell in love with the game.
Yeah, not only did you fall in love with the game, but you stayed with the game. You were one of those guys, as you started to mature, you got closer and closer, and in 1983 in Munich, and they said, the new Mr. Olympia, where you beat a young, charging Lee Haney, Muhammad McAway, and the rest of the crew. What went through your mind representing the country of Lebanon?
You know, let me tell you, bro, when you're passionate and consistent, you're more likely to succeed. And for me, you know, I'm always like, I learn as I move forward. Whenever I make mistake, I go back to the drawing board, find out where's the problem, and I correct it. I move forward. You know, some people quit. I don't quit.
You had a chance to compete with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was like transit. Arnold was on his way out. You were on your way up. What was that era like that time?
You know, that was my favorite era. And I'll tell you what, that's when bodybuilding had that 24K quality. So it was a huge honor for me. At my first Mr. Olympia, Arnold was there. And, you know, I was training around Arnold at that time. And, you know, I came in almost last with Ken Waller.
Yeah.
But I was happy because I felt like a kid in a candy store being with some of my heroes. And, you know, I was just happy to be there regardless. I knew that I would get better as I would move forward. Yeah, the second Olympia, after that, I made the fit with, you know, I came in like the top 8.
Yeah.
The year after in Italy, in Wembley, I jumped in back down to almost 4th place, and many felt I could have been better.
Okay.
Dickerson won, rest in peace. Yeah, 1983, I stayed consistent, and we made it happen, bro.
You've made a career out of being Mr. Olympia, which is very prestigious, and I know that you had dealings with Joe Weider. Where was he in your universe as you became Mr. Olympia? How important was that?
You know, actually, Joe Weider was a lovely person. Really, I idolized Joe. Joe was very special, rest in peace. I mean, the way he made the magazine, he's very articulate. He does everything like he's a perfectionist, and you know that. Mm-hmm. And you are also, before I go into that, you were on Crown Mr. Olympia in my book. And you know what? Joe loved you. You were on covers more than any of the Mr. Olympia.
Thank you.
And so, honestly, I'm not just trying to give you BS because I don't talk BS. You could have been Mr. Olympia, 100 slam dunk could have been.
Yeah,
But anyway, that's another topic.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a day in their sun, but yours, you realized it. Now Jake Wood is taking the reign. We're in Las Vegas. We're at the Resorts World. What are you thinking?
I think Jake is awesome. I think Jake came from the heart of bodybuilding. He's a hardcore man. And really, I like the guy.
Show me the ring that you were presented on stage.
We got that today.
And that looks like a Super Bowl championship ring.
I had to move my Pittsburgh Grand Prix.
We don't have enough rings for your fingers. This is a beautiful ring.
I heard this ring is pretty expensive too.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking 20 grand.
You're gonna, yeah, that's. You can't wear the Sandow Trophy, but this.
So now I can do side lateral with this.
What advice would you have for somebody that wants to follow in your footsteps and go to the heights that you went in bodybuilding?
I think you need to be passionate. I think you need to be smart and focus on the whole body from head to toe, just like you did. And that was one of your trademarks because you kept the balance. And you always showed up professional from A to XYZ.
Well, the beauty of bodybuilding is we see our champions in front of us and we try to copy them and take it to the next level. You laid the footprints, we follow them.
I think I motivated you enough to train back your back like crazy. And your back was very close to be like mine.
Well, you're a legend. You're a legendary bodybuilder. You were celebrated here tonight. Did it feel good with all the other champions in the house?
Well, you know, I mean, you know what I like. You know, my preference is harmony and beauty to the body. You know, I'm not interested in a huge physique that's muscular and not pretty, because I like the overall line.
Guess
the
what?
Overall beauty.
The judges like that too. That's why you're the 83 Mr. Olympia champion from Las Vegas in the Lion of Lebanon. I'm Sean Ray.
Yeah, Sean, good to see you, buddy.
All right.